Hey everyone, my name is Malik and I'm actually here with Jonathan, also known as JohnnyBlasian. Hey,
What's going on?
not too much, man. I'm excited because we get a chance to share Jonathan's story with you today, his life journey on his path of being an artist.
Yeah, man, I'm so excited to just share my gifts and my blessings and just my entire journey to the whole world. So let's do this thing.
Yeah, so if you are working on living through your purpose or you're thinking about living through your purpose, I hope and I pray that this story, his life journey, really inspires you and encourages you. So tell me a little bit about your path leading up to being a musician. What kind of work were you involved with, before you started on this path?
Well, so I went to school for music. I went for audio engineering and music production, and honestly, I had to figure out my gift. I had to figure out what direction I was going to go into as far as pursuing God and basically kind of figure out my purpose. So I knew that God has given me this gift. I just didn't know exactly how to create it in a way that will benefit believers, or it will kind of influence the ones that are closer to God. Honestly, man, I was just making music just to make music. And, you know, I finally came to a point where I knew that I needed to serve the kingdom. And
Okay.
I started to use my gifts for that. So it wasn't until actually last year when I dropped this EP called Adonai that I decided to kind of gear my gifts towards God and the people of God. So
Oh, right on. So it seems like you kind of had this knowing that you have this gift, you have this passion and purpose, and you wanted to serve the person, God, who gave this blessing to you.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of work did you do before you became a musician or while you were discovering the musical path or the artistic path?
Oh, okay. Well, I was I was working at a restaurant called Fresh to Order. It's kind of very similar Panera Bread, as far as like my occupation, if that's what you mean as far as work. I was just working, living on my own, and just trying to figure out, what my next step was as far as my life. I always considered adding music or literally doing music as a part of that. And as far as like work, as far as like the Christian or the foundation of Christ work, I was still trying to figure that out, honestly. I didn't come to that point until recently, as far as what I needed to do to benefit the kingdom. Um, so as far as the spiritual realm, man, there's still some things that I'm deciding to do as far as like being mentored and finding out what other gifts God has for me. So I haven't really got to the point where I really knew my purpose until recently, as far as the work in the spiritual realm.
Nice. Yeah. Thanks for sharing a little bit of that background. And I actually met Jonathan at Fresh to Order. That's when we first started to get to know each other and then just kind of have kept in touch ever since. He's got such a great heart as far as just, yeah, serving people and bringing God more glory when it comes to his word and who he is. And so, yeah, I just want to thank you for the heart that you have there. And a lot of the times, we have a purpose in life. We have these passions and desires, but living into that fully and completely can be a challenge. And so sometimes we have to do other work, like you had mentioned, Jonathan, as far as working in a restaurant while you're still living through your passion, trying to find the path to your dream. So yeah, let this encourage you that it's not going to be a linear, one-way, structured, focused path. It could be, but at the same time, you might have to do a couple of things to unfold that and just let that revelation continuously come in piece by
Sure,
piece.
exactly.
So yeah, why music? I mean, if you're an artist and you have an artistic talent, and I think you mentioned you produce and you direct too, but why is music so near and dear to your heart? What does it do for you?
Man, that's a great question, man. Honestly, man, it gives me joy. It gives me joy, and I think that we can all agree that music carries feelings. It has emotions. Um, it's just very influential. It's it's just like it's timeless, man. It's like, if I were to, God forbid, but if I were to pass now, for whatever reason, you still have this part of me that you can listen to or appreciate. It's something that is tangible for the world, man. But
Yeah.
for me, I'm a more mathematical like type of guy, and I think that I've learned that music also has math influences in it, and I think that's something that I appreciate as far as like time signatures and just like tempo and BPM and stuff like that. And as far as the whole engineering aspect is very mathematical and scientific, so I really just enjoy being able to just use my skills as far as my knowledge to be able to create things. Um, I'm a very creative person. I love art. I love all forms of art and stuff like that, dance and things of that nature. And I think music just complements all of the things that I like. I like fashion, just the whole artistic realm. I grew up with my mom and my sister who are also very artistic, and I think that we all have like our own artistic form that we do. My mom does cosmetology, she does hair. My sister does graphic design. And I think music was my thing, my art form, I guess. And I grew up, playing the violin and the trumpet and choir and chorus and all these things. And it's just something, man, that just really gave me joy. Like it's, I don't know,
Yeah.
it's a blessing, dude. It's a blessing.
Man, that's awesome. Yeah, just from hearing you speak about this, you can just feel the joy oozing from you. And it seems like music has, played a strong part in your life from the very beginning. And that's kind of cool how it encompasses so much of the artistic sphere. It's not just music, but it's math. I love music. I can
Yeah.
relate with you when you mentioned it's timeless. It really
Mm-hmm.
gets into your soul. It's
Yeah.
emotional.
Yeah.
But think about the mathematical aspect that you had brought up. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. And so, I was wondering, like, as far as inspiration, what inspires you to create the kind of music that you do? Like, is it just through society issues, through food, through drink? Like, what is your inspiration?
Well, you know, there's two answers to that question. I think for me, there's artists that inspire me, and honestly, there's some secular artists that are very talented, and I wish that if they were to give their talents to God, that they'll benefit off of their talent. But hey, I'm not. They do whatever they want to do. But Drake is one of them. He's very talented. He's very versatile. He's able to kind of just um, pick different genres and being able to rap and sing at the same time and all that stuff. So I think,
Yeah.
as far as the inspiration of artists, there's people like Gavi and Aaron Cole, who are some Christian artists. These are the people that I get inspiration from. But man, I think what inspires me ultimately is just, uh, like I was saying before, like I know, and I've actually talked to God about what my gift is. And my inspiration is that I can just inspire others to follow him, to follow
Wow.
God. So I know what my gift is, and I'm called to do this. And it's not just for fame, it's not just for money or anything, but it's just to really inspire those that maybe have a hard time believing in him.
Yeah. Wow, man, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, I love what you said as far as we can talk to God. What? We really can? Of course. I mean, the thing is we have this open relationship with him, and so it's just us seeking him and letting him speak to us, guide us, and that's amazing that he's doing exactly that in your life. And
Yeah.
I was thinking about secular music, and I've heard people talk about this too, where, there are some people in this world right now that, they can't connect with Christian music because, as far as the spectrum, they're here is, worship Christian music. But in the secular realm, these artists have a platform to reach God's children as well. And it's just, if they could add that faith piece to it, because whatever style they have, it seems like it's grabbing the attention of a lot of people. Now it's like, okay, how can I add this other part to it? So I'm actually excited to see, like, in the future how that develops, because I feel like right now there's a big shift going on
Sure.
a lot of different. And so, yeah, I definitely feel like the secular realm, I think God's going to use that in an interesting way.
I mean, Kanye West is a perfect example of kind of using his
Yeah,
using his fame, right, and him doing
yeah,
secular music for so long, but now like switching that now, right, and now he's glorifying God, and those same people are now being followed, towards God. So it's awesome.
that was a good one, bro. Nice job bringing that up. Definitely, yo, Kanye, keep holding it down. I was in Chicago like a month back, and I just got this inspiration to put on some Kanye. Um, I was vibing out. So, tell me a little bit about the artistic life. Is it lonely, and what do you do to counteract the loneliness if you experience
Well, that's funny. Lonely.
that?
Well, I think that, um, well, I'm in a relationship, and there's not many times where I honestly am too lonely or get lonely, but I can definitely understand that there are musicians that uh, can become lonely if they are if they don't get the particular attention that they're used to having. And honestly, I think that also comes from your relationship with God, because ultimately your attention, or the attention that you seek, should come from God. You shouldn't have to seek attention from social media or other people or whatever just to feel like you're fulfilled. I think all of that should come from God and your relationship with him. So as far as
Yeah.
any loneliness or depression, or not feeling like you're acquitted, or if you don't feel like you're like fulfilled or anything, I think definitely that should all come from God, and God should give you all that.
And yeah, praise the Lord. Definitely, I strongly believe in that. I'm not an artist. I'm very creative, but what I'm trying to share is, in this season of my life, I am single, right? But I'm looking for my life partner. I'm dating, and sometimes, yeah, I get lonely. But whenever I seek the Lord, and I'm like, God, just come be with me, and I seek Him, and I can feel that love just enter into my spirit. And so we might have feelings of feeling lonely, but we never have to feel like we're going through loneliness, because if we just seek him, if we just chase him with our heart, he's always going to fill us up with that love, with that joy, with that peace, and he's faithful. And so I love that, man.
Yeah.
Awesome encouragement. So when it comes to dislikes, is there anything that you dislike about the music world?
That about myself, or
No, like, as far as the music world, but yeah, I mean, you could include that into.
man. Well, we kind of just talked about the whole secular thing, and how, there's, it's almost like it's like 5% of the industry is like Christian, and then 95% of it is secular. If we were able to subtract some of the 95 and add it to the 5, where it's a little bit more balanced, I think I'd be more happier for that to happen. But that's not really up to me. I can only just do my part and influence those. But this is funny. I was talking to a friend about this, but like, there's a lot of clones, and what I mean by that is, there's like artists like Future, and then there's like like 10 other artists that come out that sound exactly the same, And that's really tiring to hear that. It's like, can anyone be original? Like, stop. You don't have to like sample everything and steal everyone's sound. It's like, you know, music is about recreating and possibly sampling, but just be creative and original, you know? And I think that some of the creativity is being lost, and people are just trying to find a quick buck and not really honestly make music in an original way. So I think just originality is kind of being lost. And as far as just the whole music business, I mean, if you know this, it's kind of shady in some sort of ways, like the whole business aspect. And I would kind of wish that people were more honest and more, you know, transparent and able to just kind of just have a more heart for others. But it's a business at the end of the day. And I kind of wish that it wasn't as shady as it is.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like both ideas that you had brought up. And it's interesting, you know, if you have this gift of being a musician, of an artist, of creating lyrics and melodies, you know, we do feel that pressure to do well and to be accepted.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, you know, in our society, we need this message of, like you said, originality.
Yeah.
We all have something truly special that has been birthed into us by God.
Yeah.
And so we just need to align with that and not worry about what other people are going to think and feel, and just create what's in us, because that's going to be really awesome. That's going to be original, and that's going to be exciting. So if you're an artist and you try to mimic, you know, work that is socially acceptable by other people, just let that go and really live through what's in you and create that. You may not win 1,billion people, you might, but the people that you win, those are the people that need to hear your sound.
Exactly.
And that's why, you know, yeah, that's why there could be 1,billion different artists, but they all have a different voice, a different tone, and it captures the rest of the population, right? So let's not just go after the same pool. Let's live what's in us and encompass everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah. So as far as funding goes, do you feel like music should be funded? I know there's programs out there, but, you know, maybe a larger scale of that?
Yeah. So that's a good question. I think that it all depends on how far you want to go with it. If it's something that you want to make a career out of, or if it's just a hobby. I think either or, a hobby still requires funding if you want to continue doing it in some sort of way, as far as buying plugins or buying programs or seeking features and all that stuff. But as far as wanting to get like a record deal, I definitely believe that it takes a lot of money to be able to get to where you want to get to. And some people get lucky, man. You know, some people have a talent and then a major artist kind of seeks them, one being Justin Bieber. You know, he was on YouTube, and then Usher had saw his video and ended up funding him basically based off his talent. So just, I think it kind of also comes from how talented you are. But at the end of the day, it requires funding regardless, no matter how talented you are. So in the beginning, it's, you know, you spend a lot more money, but eventually you kind of make that money back by how you do in sales and how you do in performances and stuff like that, or what deals that you get with major companies.
I got you. Okay. Yeah. So, you know, maybe it could be a place where the musicians that have done really well, made a name for themselves, have, you know, really become financially wealthy from it. Maybe, you know, it would be awesome if they had the heart to perhaps give a little bit back towards the community and helping those who have this passion really develop, you know, the skills and the structure. And because, yeah, there might be some people in some areas that just don't have any access to resources to live through that. And I do believe that, you know, it's our part, if we are super blessed and super well off, that maybe we should help out other people So shout outs to those musicians, those artists who are doing really well. Hey, keep it up. May you have more blessings, but may you also have the heart to pour back into the community. And I know there's a lot of them that do that. So thank you for those that do.
Oh, one more thing I wanted to add to that is,
Yeah.
unfortunately, record people from record labels kind of take advantage of those that come from the poorer places and kind of give them record deals, and those people don't know about saving or investing, so they kind of just blow that money as soon as they get they have like a one-hit wonder or whatever, and then they ended up getting into debt because they didn't know how to financially put themselves in the right position. So that kind of happens a lot where and then they also don't tell you that you have to they fund you this money, but you have to pay that back. that's one of the
Oh,
that's one of the issues that people have. They just think that they're giving them this loan, this amount of money, but it's actually just a loan. It's not just like a grant. So that's one thing
wow.
to look forward to. You just have to, have a right manager and the right team behind you, and then you should be fine. But basically what happens is they fund you a certain amount of money, and then you have to be able to perform and kind of make that money back to zero and then start making money.
Wow, man, that's wisdom that you're sharing. It seems like that's a catch-22, and so yeah, just really take your time when you're working through deals. Really seek wisdom from experts. Pray into it, because yeah, we live in a capitalistic society where our agenda, not, and I'm not saying this about everyone, but for many, is just finances. And I know there was a season in my life where I was very much in that realm where I was just like, I want money. I had an ethical, moral line, but I just really wanted money. I was addicted to greed. And, I've gone through a journey in my life where that's shifted. But yeah, it's all about, how can we do things in a manner that both people win, right? We don't need to take advantage of others and things like that. So yeah, just be on the lookout for things like that. Thanks for sharing that, Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So as far as research, do you do any research towards your music?
Well, I do a lot of research as far as how people get signed and their story and all that, and how there's different ways of kind of getting to where you want to. Um, as far as my music creation, with particular songs, I do research as far as um, finding melodies or finding drum patterns to kind of sample from, and what type of music gravitates to certain people. So on my EP, I actually have different styles of music because I wanted to have a diversity of different sounds. And I know that music has frequencies that I've actually learned this in school, and that's why I'm so educated on it. But music is actually frequencies, and certain frequencies trigger certain emotions in your mind. So if you were to play a major scale, for example, a C major scale, that's considered happy music. But if you considered a C minor scale, that would be considered sad, which includes minor keys, like the black keys on a keyboard. So there's a lot of science behind music. Actually, it very well um, changes your mood. And also, I've also experienced where if I was ever upset about something and I would play some Little John or something really crunk or whatever, I would stay in that mood based off of how I was feeling. If I wanted to be in that mood, if I wanted to be angry for whatever reason, or if I was sad, I would play something like the Weeknd's older music, if I wanted to remain in that same feeling. So as far as research, I just wanted to learn how music can affect emotion or moods, because I think that's what kind of allows you to have more control of the type of music that you're making.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah, I can definitely reflect back on, whenever I'm feeling a vibe or in a different mood, I'm like, okay, I want something a little bit more upbeat, or maybe I want something a little bit more chill or deep. And
Hmm.
so, yeah, cool how there's actually a research behind that to create those different kind of genres, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. So this is a really awesome question. I love asking people this: is what superpower would you have and why?
Oh man. Well, my favorite superhero is Spider-Man. So, yeah. So honestly, I would have all his powers, honestly.
Okay.
That's a great question. So I guess this is not really musically related, but I would just want to be the Black Spider-Man. Like honestly,
Yeah,
I think that would be awesome. If I had like a music career and Spider-Man at the same time, my life would be great.
that'll be the secret life. So why would it be Spider-Man? What is it about the Black Spider-Man that you're like that would be my alter ego?
I don't know, dude. Like I don't know why I like Spider-Man so much. He's just like his power is so like unique. It's like he gets bitten by a spider and then he goes through this process and now he is like super strength, super fast. He can swing from buildings. Like I don't know, dude. Like I know that Superman is like the greatest and the strongest one or whatever, but he has a weakness in his kryptonite. So it's like, and then Batman doesn't even really have powers. He has gadgets and all this stuff. So I don't know. I just I feel like
Yeah, that's controversial right there.
wait, I don't want to upset any like DC fans or anything. But
Too late. Too late.
I don't know.
Nice. So, this is awesome because we get a chance to just learn more about you, what drives you, what fills you up with your desire to create different things. So now we know when it comes to the supernatural that it's the Black Spider-Man that really drives you because, Superman, he can be stopped just by kryptonite, and Batman, I mean, does he really have a lot? I don't know. All right. So name something that you love and why you love it.
Oh man, I'm not gonna be cliche and say God. I mean that would that would be like
It's
a
obvious,
easy
right?
easy answer. But man, that's a great question. Man, that's a great question, dude. Okay, something that I love. I love family, man.
Mm,
Family has its ups and downs. Not everyone's perfect and there's flaws in between every relationship, but family is just a group of people that you can rely on when things get hard, when you're in a situation and you need help, or when there's when you need someone to talk to. Family is just very consistent for the most part, and I'm kind of generally speaking because I feel like everyone has a different relationship with their family, but I think for the most part you can rely on your family, and they can definitely steer you in the right direction. They kind of have um, most of the characteristics that you would look for in most of your friendships and stuff. Um,
yeah,
you can find
that's
mentors.
awesome.
You can find mentors in family. You can find friendships in family. Um, you know, uh, guidance and all those characteristics that you kind of look for. Kind of you can get from your family.
Right. I love that answer, man. And yeah, that kind of shares a little bit more about your heart and what kind of emotions go into your music. I think I can definitely relate with you on that, where, yeah, family really is always there for you. And I know there were seasons of my life where I was doing things that my family didn't condone. Like, I
Sure.
know I mentioned I was disagreed at one point. And I
Yeah.
don't mind sharing this with people because my life is actually in a book. And I was actually a drug dealer for a season of my life, and
Yeah.
God has redeemed me. But even through that, my family would be there for me, and so yeah, and there's so many ups and downs, but at the end of the day, they're always surrounding you, and so
Yeah.
yeah, I love that. And it's nice to know that we have people in our lives that we can count on because we can feel
Def-
alone sometimes.
definitely.
Yeah. So what is your dream project? Like, what if you had the opportunity today to start working on it, what would that be?
Man, these questions, dude. It's a great question, man. Well, so I had dropped, on the August 1st is going to be when Elohim is dropped, and that will be my second EP. But I think eventually I want to drop an actual album consisting of 10, maybe 15 songs. So I haven't dropped an album yet. So my dream project would be definitely an album, definitely being signed. Not necessarily. I still want to still be independent, but I want a distribution deal. It either being Universal or Sony, having them distribute it, but definitely having some features like Gavi and Aaron Cole and Bauer and Jawan, maybe Drake. We'll see. Kanye West.
Okay.
I'm kind of naming some artists that I would like to work with and feature with, but that would definitely be a dream project for me. Kind of glorifying God in a more like public way with just major artists, and being obviously signed as far as a distribution deal.
Nice. So that would be a dream project. Well, man, I'm believing in that for you. I'm gonna pray into that for you. And yeah, I think it's always like timing, patience. For me, I've just those are really hard things that I've had to deal with in the past. But I feel like as long as we just keep coming with that hunger, that thirst, that passion, like you are, that love to just share, uh, you know, what God has given you in the way that you are, those are all amazing things. And so, yeah, I believe that that's going to happen for you, brother.
Thanks, man.
Um, you had mentioned a few artists that you would like to work with in your dream project. Would you say that you would want to be compared to those artists too, as far as like your specific talents?
Oh man. I think when I share my music with people, they tend to compare me as far as like my tonality or particular style of my production and stuff like that. And like we were talking about earlier, I think there should definitely be a difference, or everyone should be original. And I think in my lyrics, I try to aim for that. I try to just write in the way that I would without necessarily taking from others. Obviously, I think every artist is influenced by someone. So there's going to be some similarities as far as the music creation itself. But as far as the skill sets, I would definitely have to say Gavi and Kanye West also both produce music, and they possibly engineer as well. I'm not too sure about that, but I'm kind of like the triple threat type of guy, and God has given me the gift to be able to do multiple skills, to like engineering, producing, writing, and rapping, and all those things, which as some of those artists may not have those same skill sets, but some of them also have the skill sets to be able to rap and sing at the same time in a way that it's more appreciated. So I think I could definitely with each of those artists, there's at least two skill sets that we share, at least.
Wow. Okay. Nice, man. So I know you got a chance to share with us what exactly you're working on currently, and it's actually coming out August 1st, you mentioned, right?
Yes, sir. I'm excited.
Awesome. So like, me too, dude. I was talking to you about it yesterday. I was like, hey, when's the new stuff coming out? Like, I want to get a taste of it. And so like even your current stuff now is on YouTube, right? So if you wanted to get a taste of JohnnyBlasian, you can definitely check some of his tracks out on YouTube. What are some other places that they can connect with you, Jonathan?
Okay. So I have an Instagram. It's JohnnyBlasian_music. I literally just started it. I have like, I don't know, like 90 to 100 followers, but it's something that I'm building up from scratch. I kind of wanted to have my own separate music page. That's one place. My phone number is exclusive. I'm not sharing that information.
Okay.
Um, you know, I think it's really just Instagram and Facebook. My Facebook name is Jonathan Benjamin on Facebook. And that's really about it. I mean, I have a SoundCloud and a Bandcamp that you can check out. You can just kind of Google Johnny Blasian. But yeah, I don't have Twitter anymore, and um, I don't have like Tumblr or any of those other sites that people use. So just Instagram and Facebook really is where you can find me.
Nice. Awesome. So now you know where to find Johnny Blasian, get a taste of what he's putting out there in the world. And again, I want to just thank you for joining us today. And I pray and I hope that you've been encouraged by Jonathan's life journey, because we went through, how did he come to this passion? How did he come to this purpose? It wasn't just like a clear answer. He unfolded into it. And to fuel his dreams and passions, he had to do certain things. And so it was just nice getting a chance to learn a little bit more about what it takes to live in your purpose. And so, yeah, be encouraged that we all have a purpose in us and you're not alone. So be surrounded by mentors, like-minded individuals, family. And, if you are looking for more support, more encouragement, I'd like to definitely make myself available for that. You've already got Jonathan's, info to reach out to him too. So you're not alone. We want to encourage you as well to keep pursuing your passions and your dreams.
Of course, God be the glory, man.
God be the glory. Yeah, so is it cool if I share with them just how they can get in touch with me if they wanted to get some more encouragement?
Of course.
I know they've got, yeah. So I have a nonprofit called Inner Life Restoration, and it's all about, bringing unity into communities, celebrating identity, culture, and helping people tap into their purpose. So you can reach me at innerliferestoration@gmail.com, and you can check out the site too. But yeah, Jonathan, you're an awesome individual. I'm so honored to get a chance to do this interview with you and just share your story, what God has done in your life with more people. And I just know that, you have this fire in you. And I just pray that that fire continues to be inflamed for God. And I just know there are going to be amazing alignments coming into your life. So, yeah, man, I want to encourage you to just keep rocking and rolling, bro.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate you. And this has been really fun for me. And I really appreciate that everything that you're doing, even besides the interview. So thank you so much.
Yeah, no doubt, man. All right, everyone. Y'all take care. Thanks for joining us.
Peace.